Hello, this is a side show. I'm Theodore Parker, and this is Friday, September the 9th, 2021. Weather's a little bit cooler. We have a little pollen alert, but the days are dry right now. And coming around into the weather, I guess it would appear that the rest of the country is moving forward from its various states of emergency with assistance and help from those people that are qualified to do so. Since it is the weekend, kind of reminds you up front, to drink your water, take care of yourself, get a little exercise in, try a little bit of that Tai Chi. Don't forget to wear your mask if you have to go out and take care of any business. This is the weekend after Labor Day weekend. I can say we are officially into September. Won't be long before it's the fall of the year. Also, this coming weekend on Saturday will be the official 20-year mark of 911. But it's been published that the United States did, successfully track down those terrorists that were responsible, for 9/11. But in some ways, certain families are still recovering. I saw a couple of advertisements for movies, Hollywood version, of course, of those people that were involved in the process of recovering from 911, such as the lawyer that had to come up with a fee for those families that lost their lives during that attack. And based on the true story, that film kind of is out there if you want to find it and look at it. I remember years ago I watched World Trade Center with Nicolas Cage in it. And it was kind of hard to watch, realistic and so forth and so on. But there's a couple of films related to 911 if you want to, find them and spend some time getting some more Hollywood version of the details based on true events, then that's an opportunity to do that. Still dealing for this particular section of the sideshow for the next little while, I will be addressing social justice. So I guess some other podcasts or some other blog situation or broadcast might say social justice series. And it's probably not going to be in the format that you usually are used to hearing it, because that, quote unquote, is the trademark of the sideshow, bringing you news in a manner that you are not used to receiving in regular content. Just to state that again. I want to take a moment to pay homage or to mention the passing of Michael K. Williams. At 54, he was discovered this week dead in his home in New York. I haven't gotten any other details, haven't noticed or seen any other details about it as of yet. Michael K. Williams is probably a notable actor, and I shouldn't say probably, but is. But for a lot of folks, what jumps to mind is his portrayal of Omar in The Wire, series on TV based on drug dealing in Baltimore. And as I think about it, that's probably about the time that I was hanging out in Baltimore. and just being quote unquote on the corner myself. And that character Omar, you know, was feared by the neighborhood guys and how drugs moved through and were handled and so-called big-time drug dealers, et cetera, et cetera. And Omar was quote unquote a character. But that didn't result in Michael K. Williams being typecast. So he went on to do other films and other movies in various roles, to his credit and to his success. It's just that some people might consider 54 a young age to have passed away at. Myself would say that, because it's not even official retirement. You don't start getting coffee free at McDonald's until you're 55 if you can't relate to what I'm trying to put out there for you to consider. So we give honor, to the memory of Michael K. Smith. I was looking on the internet yesterday, I believe, and I saw a short video of him dancing in one of the parks in a reggae fashion, back when reggae was rising and was very popular. There was a dance associated with that. And he was doing this with a young black lady in the park. So if you can find that, you probably would enjoy it. I think he did a good job on the dance and expressed the reggae fashion of it very well. So here's to Michael K. Williams. Going on to some other things, I like to do that 180 every once in a while. And that's kind of like the situation here, doing a 180. Natalie Bryant quit volleyball. And you might say, well, why would you leave with that kind of headline? It's not my headline, it's somebody else's headline, but still, because when she was interviewing for some of the teen fashion magazines, or for a teen fashion magazine, her favorite sport was listed as volleyball. And you know that recently she, along with other young celebrity teens, are the roles in college. So, along with some of the other things that have come her way, she's now on the cover of Teen Vogue. So you young people that want to take a look at that and see some of the comments associated to her or given about her in the article, Natalie Bryant on the cover of Teen Vogue. Now this will take you back a little bit, and I still consider most of what I'm telling you to be under the category of social justice, because it's a feeling that can go across other cultures. We know earlier this year we went through a lot of stuff that affected the Asian and Pacific Island community. We're going through things ourselves as Black people. You have other cultures that have been affected, as well as Native Americans. So social justice can rear its head successfully for many people. So this is another back in the day comment, or any of us that's old enough to say, remember, don't talk about the phrase, don't talk about my mama, and playing the dozens. A lot of comedians such as Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy and other comedians most recently know the expression and the feeling associated with don't talk about my mama. So this little comment is Ice Cube's says that he recalls almost killing a classmate for swindling his mom out of $20. That probably was back in the time when older people would still send young kids to the store to get this and that. And don't forget to bring me my change. So anyway, $20 is still $20. Tupac, so many years after his passing and death, after being shot, BMW 7 Series Tupac was shot and is on sale for 1.7 million US dollars. Those of us who are familiar with the BMW car, I like it, so I don't see no reason why, but to have one in the 7 Series called Tupac, I think that's pretty innovative. Besides having a Cadillac. Economists say that the U.S. minimum wage, should be $26, and proves it with a simple chart. Again, early this year, when they're battling the budget and how come minimum wage got stuck during the Trump administration and there was no raise to the minimum wage, calculated, on the system that minimum wage applies to, then we should be at $26. Because so many people on minimum wage will complain and tell you, justifiably so, that they cannot meet all their expenses at that hourly salary wage. Now here's one that'll warm your heart. Rihanna drops lawsuit against her father after claiming he used her name to make money. Okay. That's nice, as we say. Again, a 180. A Karen, or Nebraska Karen, if you're familiar with that social term, deliberately was coughing on shoppers at her job or while she was working, and she got fired. Nebraska Karen deliberately coughing at shoppers gets fired from job. Yay, social justice. Education. Howard University names J.P. Morgan Chase as its primary bank and expands relationship to assist students. So, J.P. Morgan has kind of stepped up over the last couple of years. They primarily were a national bank, but maybe 2 years ago, they stepped into the international monetary banking arena, per se, or area. So that might work well for Howard. It's a large campus, to put it mildly, considering housing and its many colleges, and probably grants, awards, things of that nature, and just the overall system that it takes to run a college. I know I'm here in Kentucky, and UK is massive the same way, but when we're talking about HBCUs, Howard has its own reputation, justifiably so. A lot of celebrities and just guys like me have been on campus just to see what's going on and had other benefits just from Howard being in DC. A black woman makes history being crowned as Miss Ireland for the first time in 70 years. Now that's another one for the books. I think it was 70 years for some other events that have happened this year for countries. But Ireland has crowned a black woman in the beauty contest. Talking about giving it back, I do get some responses. I know Facebook has a reputation, and I mentioned it before, for being a social media platform that reaches around the world. I would say this is true, notwithstanding those people that might say they're from here, from there, just to add confusion to things, but are truly from that country that they state and can verifiably prove that they are there. Such as Africa, besides the comments that are affiliated with South Africa, especially coming out of apartheid, I probably first became aware of it because of apartheid and during the imprisonment of Nelson Mandela. And I have seen him released, and subsequently freed due to the efforts of the world, black people included, especially, and social change sweep the continent of Africa where it was needed. So, African-born financial advisor is finding his fulfillment helping African Americans build wealth. I learned early on the comment 10% of the people control 90% of the wealth. If you want to find out more about why that comment was made, you can Google it, follow it up, see where it fits in, and get a better understanding of it. So we know if we are not able to just roll numbers, off the top of our head and off the tip of our tongue, we know that just by being in the world, there is a percentage of each culture that makes up a population. So here we have somebody from Africa doing something for African Americans. Looking to the future, especially towards young people, I think these comments that I made, the last 2 or 3 comments, are taken from articles in Black Enterprise magazine. So this was headed a couple of days ago, and it's directed toward young people or anybody, I guess, is trying to change careers. It says, still trying to figure out what you want to be when you grow up. So that would be young people. Or maybe you're ready for a pivot. It's time to consider a career in financial services. Now, that's, can be taken with a grain of salt, or you can apply it to how education has changed in the school system since you were in it, or what you were going through now, whether it's, high school or college, university, whether you're going for your master's. So, I know financial services, when I was going, were involved with teaching at the high school level, involved, learning how to enter your ledger comments and online, do it on a computer, and keep your books that way, how to get the numbers together, how to do your credits and balances, debits and credits. But now, things are so much more advanced that middle school children are being introduced to things, and so are elementary school children being introduced to things related to the computer. Now, if you want a higher quote unquote education, they will give you a computer to make sure that you're able to do your classwork. And probably Zoom, due to the pandemic, has played a big part in that, although the country is moving to keep students in in-person class. So financial services. And here's a bit of what you call a nice, heartwarming thing. Chicago coffee shop owner serves up free therapy with hip-hop inspired drinks. That's also from Black Enterprise magazine. I remember the first time I saw hip-hop potato chips on the market. You probably remember that. If you have not tried them, I've not tried them. Wraps, chips, I believe, and several other brands that were promoted by rap business entrepreneurs and people large enough to swing food items, which business is so diversified in so many areas that you can get into once you establish a financial base that it's almost limitless what you can put your name on once you have the money to do it. And as we know and are constantly reminded by our daily circumstances, whether we're raising a family, a single person, or a couple, money don't grow on trees. There you have it, Friday, September 9th, 2021, the sideshow. That's it. Hashtag.